This is recording 714-714. I'm about to report another terrorist attack that Jean Roberts and her Manson occult committed. And then I have more decode on crimes that she committed also. Okay, so I just got home and fixed something to eat and turned on the TV, and I saw that there was a shooting in Australia in their Jewish community at Bondi Beach. Okay, so, all right, so Jean Roberts committed this crime. Okay, so number one, I'm wearing a shirt today. She knows what, because she spies on me, okay, and she commits crime, and then she tries to act like she's me. She was trying to act like she was me in my brain a couple hours ago, referring to me as a child, and then she, came out in her she's here moment, and she acted like she was me as a child. And then she acted like, she's just insane. And I'm talking about Jean Jernigan Roberts of Milton, Florida. And I know you guys know that. Okay, so, and no, I don't use her name as a stand-in where I'm just making a report to her. No, I am press charges against her. She is the one committing these crimes. She has elevated herself into some sort of false imaginary queendom. Okay, and so she is the one that has committed these crimes. It's her and her Manson occult. So, all right. So first of all, Steve Irwin, you know how she likes to collect Steve. She took Steve Irwin's life. Okay. So Steve Irwin, he had that show. I can't remember what the show was called now, but he had that show, and his wife, and his daughter's name was Bindi, I think, Bindi. So she's doing a spin on Bindi and Bondi. Okay. And I always thought his wife looked like Mindy from, I think her name was Mindy, from Mork and Mindy. Yeah, Mork and Mindy. I can't remember what the actress's name is. So anyway, you know how she likes to collect Steve. She stalks them. She's been doing that. She's a Satanist. The name Steve goes all the way back to the Book of Paul. So this has to do with the Book of Paul. And so it's been like a tradition of hers throughout history to stalk and control people with the name Steve. Okay, including eyes raping their parents to name them Steve, like pre-planning them and then stalking them. Okay, so she's got a real thing for Steves. So anyway, and you can even tell that in Seal Code and the original Charles Manson murders in the 1960s. Okay, she's been the leader of Charles Manson since the late 60s. She is a true leader. You're going to have to go through my entire podcast, ChristinaStacia918.com, to know everything. Okay, so I'm adding on more information here. So just like one of the victims' names was Stephen Parent. Okay, Steve Paul. Okay, the Book of Paul. Jean is a Satanist. Okay, so anyway, so she's making a reference to Big Brother. She's probably striking at, I can see with the Bondi, she's striking at me, making sarcastic jokes. She's striking at Tom Cruise, and she's also striking at Maury Povich and Connie Chung. Okay, is who she's striking at. So, and you're gonna have to see all of. You're gonna have to listen to my podcast. So, The Australian Prime Minister's name happens to be my oldest son's first name. And they said they removed explosive devices. I'd like to see what the explosive devices are, but that for me to say that is just enough for you to know there's Charles Manson knick-knack behind that too. They're showing me in a picture right now in the article. They know it's Charles Manson. They know it's Charles Manson. They know it's Charles Manson. Okay, so also the victims went to St. Vincent's Hospital. So she's using venison. Okay, CL code on doe, deer, Bambi. This goes all the way back to the 70s. It's one of my mom's favorite Disney movies. And she's also, Gene Roberts is also making a reference to Vincent Price. Okay, so, well, there it is right there, Price and then Bond. And then Gold Bond, and then Australia, and then Gold. So, you know Gene Roberts did that. And also, I'm wearing a shirt that I made. And she knows what I'm going to wear because she stalks ever living heck out of me. I mean, Tulsa, Oklahoma is the epicenter of this terrorist hub. And it's Jean Jernigan Roberts and her Manson occult. So they're desperately trying to shut me up and keep me. They're trying to cover for Jean. They're trying to shut me up and not keep me making reports against her. And they'll just take over from here. And I just shut up. And they'll just get away with committing the crime and racket it. And they'll tell all the lies they want into society and try to get more people to gang stalk. It's ridiculous. But I mean, the entire world knows that besides where Gene Roberts' additional terror hubs are in the United States, everybody knows her terror hub is hiding here in Tulsa. So anyway, I made this shirt because Jean threatened my children, my two boys, and she threatened my grandchildren. Now, I pressed charges against Jean, and I've got to continue to make reports against Jean because she's stalking me, she's stalking my family. She's committing terror attacks. She is killing people. She's using my family, and she's using music and movies as a theme. Okay, just like she did when she did the World Trade Center attack. Okay, so I'm going to keep making reports until I'm in witness protection and Jean is arrested because, like I said, any information I can provide is more information for intelligence because all these crimes are linked. So you can tell this crime is linked to the crime that she committed yesterday with the Brown University shooting. Even that, somebody just said the university, UN, the unreference. So, anyways, I'm wearing this shirt. She knew I was going to wear it today. She knows everything about me. She stalks the shit out of me. Sorry that she's putting curse words in my sentences. So, anyway, she threatened my children and my grandchildren. And she showed me a picture of my family with the horse head on their head. And I was like, I don't think so. I'm becoming the horse head. So I made a t-shirt that's got a dark horse on it, a black horse, a horse head. And then I have on it, Not Today, Branch Davidian. Because you know Gene Roberts is in Charles Manson and she's a conglomerate of occults. And Gene Roberts since then has told lies, white peopling people in Tulsa. Because actually the Nation of Islam told me, they said, we love your shirt. We're making ourselves a dark horse. We're stallions. And they weren't saying that to be cute. They were saying, no, you do not let Gene Roberts get away with this. You turn her in. So anyway, and it gives me strength and support. You're not going to get away with any of this crime. So then Gene Roberts tried to do her switchy swappy. This is how ridiculous and stupid this is. Gene Roberts tried to do her switchy swappy. She probably had people break into my home and wear my shirt for one. little nasty fucking criminals. Number two, she tried to switch around, going opposites of what's what about my shirt, and told lies everywhere. And everybody's like, are you effing stupid, Gene Roberts? People know who you are. I don't know why you continue trying to white people. White people is Gene Roberts. People call it white peopling and also Charles Mansoning. She runs around spreading lies, and she spreads lies that she knows will get to your heartstrings to try to make you mad. And then she's there to wipe away the tears. And she does that by fueling you and sucking you into her occult. So people have gotten really wise to her Charles Mansoning and her white peopling. Okay? And Gene Roberts, as you know, is Caucasian. Gene Roberts even lied about the white peopling. I mean, there's nothing that Gene and her occult does or says that's not a lie. All they do is lie, make money spreading lies, and committing terrorism, running their trafficking rings. So anyway, so obviously it has Branch Davidian on it. So she knows that I'm going to wear the shirt today. So that shows you she pre-planned to commit this attack. And she wanted to pun my shirt. And she probably wants to direct blame everywhere else. Also, there's a reference to Russia in here. And when I was in the living room a minute ago, I heard her in my brain telling someone, she was telling someone, it's Russia, it's Russia. And this man goes, it's Russia. It was not Russia that committed this attack. It was Gene Roberts and her Charles Manson occult. Okay, so next also is, okay, this is obvious right here. Totally missed this one. So if you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like write it down on a piece of paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row, and then you start a second row, and then you write 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. What is the center numbers? 3 and 8. So she even did that in pre-planning to do the World Trade Center attack. So you know the 38 and the 1983. And then her committing an assault on me as a child and then spinning it around and using that as her excuse to doing the World Trade Center attack. Okay, so you see how the 83 is in the center here? Gene Roberts did that. Now, I was a child. She used ice on me. I told you she stalked me my entire life. And she doesn't like me telling on her for stalking me or trying to control me and trying to get away with a 60-year crime spree of everything under the sun, moon, and stars. But I'll keep making reports against her until she's arrested. So anyway, also somebody pointed out with it laid out like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Not only is it's also evidence for Oklahoma City bombing because that makes a rectangular shape. So you see how center is those center numbers. And you know 38 special is one of her aliases. Okay, and then also more decode. So you know how my favorite card game, which is my mom's favorite card game, is Canasta. Okay, the real name for Canasta is something, I think it's like eggs in a basket or hand basket. I think it's hand basket. So she pre-planned, like I told you, she pre-planned my relationships, my marriages, everything. I've explained all that to you. I went over all the decode the ciphers with you. I turned her in for all of her stalking. She stalked all of my marriages, all my family members, all of them. And I loved my first husband and my third husband. I liked my second husband. I love my first and third husband. Okay. It's notable because it's 1 and 3. And then 2 is Gene Roberts' favorite number. So anyway, she pre-planned, and I've already decoded this several times. This is more evidence for the Suttons, Suttons, of Gene Roberts stalking of them back through the 70s. So this is more evidence of that. Her stalking Ben and Ma, getting ready to like control and create our relationship where we fall in love and get married. Okay. So anyway, Ben was, for lack of a better term, he was a hellion. He's probably still a hellion. So she coined the phrase between the two of us, hell and a hand basket, is what she did there. Also, the recording that I just did, on the Brown shooting, the Brown University shooting, she was committing an act of revenge. Okay, and I had it in my YouTube description and I erased it, but then when I was trying to, so I could record it, and then when I went to go make the recording, she blinked in my brain. And so she wanted it left out, which only makes it more obvious, Gene, that you committed these crimes. So see all code, see all podcasts, see all decoded ciphers. So she was committing an act of revenge on me turning her in for taking the life of Adam Walsh, which is America's Most Wanted, the host's son, for taking the life of JonBenét Ramsey. And then there was someone else. I could see all three of them in there. I didn't see Casey Anthony in there, but Anthony is in this today in Australia. So again, she's committing an act of revenge for me pressing charges against her for taking Casey Anthony's daughter's life. There is another victim also. I can't think of who it is. So she was committing an act of revenge. I decoded it and I could see it in there. Also, on my recordings, when I was talking about how I held the picture up of John McCain and Gerardo, okay, from my previous recordings. Okay, someone said to me, okay, I already decoded and I know that she took John F. Kennedy Jr.'s life. Okay, she took the first Robert Kennedy Jr.'s life also. I decoded a whole bunch of ciphers on it. It's everywhere. Okay, I know she did it and she's admitted to doing it. Okay, so, and also she took Marilyn Monroe's life. Also Jimmy Hoffa, but I believe Jimmy Hoffa is held, if he is still alive, I believe he is held hostage underground. But I decoded for the Hoffa family. You guys know that, okay? So, I'm sorry, she's trying to control my speech. Whoever is making Christina's speech go, okay, you guys, no, you're done. So, anyway, so John F. Kennedy, somebody pointed out to me, John F. Kennedy Jr. was handsome. He was a pretty boy. So there's more evidence there. And then also someone else pointed out to me, she's using Pretty Boy Floyd as a theme, okay? But what she's using with Pretty Boy, then she also used Pony Boy, and then Pony Boy is Pony Boy Curtis from The Outsiders, C. Thomas Howell. Okay, so see all code on all that. Okay, so she's using, okay, so PB is lead. And then it's also peanut butter. See all code peanut butter and jelly, AIW 70s. But she's using Pink Floyd. And see all code Pink Floyd. Okay, there's a couple of really nasty things she did using Pink Floyd as a theme. Really, really nasty. And I'll make another recording letting you know what she's done. Like, I have a picture of one of them where the guy's on fire shaking someone's hand. That's a Pink Floyd album. It makes me just like, I can't wait till Gene Roberts is electrocuted. I literally can't wait. But anyway, that's the end of this recording.